Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride, where we are channeling the man in the moon. So, first of all, give yourself a big hug, alright? We did it. We managed to survive this crisis. And that's not the only thing that happened. A doorway opened to a new form of spirituality. And that's going to exist for perhaps 1,000 years. In some ways, we're very lucky to be here in the beginning, although, like many new eras, it started out with a very serious crisis. So I really want to encourage everybody to keep going with the spirituality. Now that this door has been opened, keep going in that direction. And it can take so many different beautiful forms of spirituality. The right one for you will show up if you want it to. Keep practicing, and if possible, keep practicing multiple ways towards spirituality, right? So one thing I want to point out is when I started doing this work, I didn't know how accurate I was. I just tried with a couple of people and it seemed to be pretty accurate. And that's why I sort of put it on video, because I wanted to see if I was accurate. And I wanted others to have some kind of a record or an example of a person who was sometimes accurate, often inaccurate, however you want to picture it. So if you're interested in channeling, you don't need to pay me to teach you how to do it, although obviously you're welcome to do that, and I'd love it if you did, because I love teaching channeling. But you don't need to. You can learn on your own, look at my mistakes, and let me give you an example of a mistake. I saw maybe 4 years ago that Trump would be dragged out of the White House by Mitch McConnell. And I saw him physically being dragged out, breaking things along the way, little priceless items, right, as he was being dragged out by McConnell. Now, if you think of those images, they were accurate. That his spirit was accurate. My interpretation was not so great, right? It wasn't perfect, let's just say that. I thought it was literal, but it was figurative. This is my method of becoming a channel, and it's totally different from another person's method. So I really want you to take a look at channeling other people and see where they're right and see where they're limited, see where they're accurate. You can learn to channel this way. By all means, take a look at my website and look at protection. This, I think, is the most important thing for people to do when they're learning to channel. So, on that note, let's just look at some positives. And positives might be Biden. What's going to happen? What are the first steps? All right. You know, I want everybody to notice just the really happy feeling that I'm sensing. Just every image on Facebook, everything that I see in terms of the news, there's just a collective sigh of relief. This is a very, very important. Soak it up, because it's just going to rejuvenate you. It just has a feeling of hope. Oh, what's Biden going to do? This is a very beautiful image. It's like there's the United States, and it's like lights go on. Boom, 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 along a trajectory of lights. And they form a circle, right, throughout the United States. It's a very, very refreshing and hopeful image. What's Biden going to do first? A lot of things. So he's there writing a lot of, executive order, executive order, executive order. They're going to move very, very rapidly in the next month or so to undo some of the bad deeds that Trump has done. And Biden's there, and he's looking at me directly. I'm just going to, almost like I'm interviewing, okay, what are you going to do, Mr. Biden? Pardon me, President Biden? He's very, he keeps underscoring things. So he underlines and underlines. There's some really important points that he wants to get done. He's going to let the Senate deal with Trump and the minions. He is really pointing out that he just does not have time to bother with that kind of stuff. So let's say, who will first be helped by Biden? Yeah, it's going to be all about the COVID. It's all about getting people to get the medicine that they need to prevent it from spreading. They're going to be somewhat of a mask mandate because he shows me he's pointing to the mask and he's saying, yeah, we're just going to really encourage people to wear them, even moving a little bit further than encourage to try to persuade people to do it. I'm not sure if Biden has the real mandate to do the whole country, but state by state, they might start passing mask laws. Notice that the right-wing people are really fizzling out. They're just going to sort of get, pointless rage is going to happen as they move kind of toward disappointment. They seem to be very much reduced in their hostility. At least it's not a potent hostility. It doesn't really go anywhere. You guys might notice that even the Proud Boys have now denounced Trump, saying that he failed them because they really expected a revolution. What else is Biden going to do? So the Lady Yellen, I think she's going to be the economy lady. She's got a lot of work to do. She's really working overtime. And it feels successful. It feels like she's able to push further, that the Republicans have finally stood back a little bit and accepted their loss. So rather than sabotage, as they did with Obama, I'm feeling a bit more hopeful that they have come to reality and understood that the Trump brand is dead and that they have to reinvigorate their brand and move away from the fanatics. They'll be much more centrist in the future. Everybody will be a bit more centrist in the future. At the same time, we can see the Dems really working hard. They got the message, and that's like the important thing. You can't just not deliver anything. You've got to deliver. I see a doctor and a nurse. There will be, I'm feeling that it's not just the pandemic. There's going to be some movement on healthcare. I get the number 60. I don't know what that means, 60% or maybe more, 65. I don't know what that number means. It's kind of like the degree of something. Maybe it means 65% of the people will get the medicine to prevent COVID. I'm not certain about this. So can the doctors show me more? Seeing a lot of people in hospital beds, and it looks like they're recovering. So maybe it is COVID, but they seem to be recovering and really well. What else? All of the foreign countries, for the most part, are really relieved too. All of those relationships are going to be renewed from these foreign countries. I should say with these foreign countries, including China. Biden looks like he's getting closer to a satisfactory point with China. It's going to be kind of a détente, I think. It's like, here's Joe, here's the Chinese premier, and there's a line between the two of them, and their hands cross over the line. Good one. Okay. The market will eventually go up, but, and I see this as a line, so I assume it's the market, but it could just be the economy in general. But it's going to be static for a while. Not that much is going to change. At some point, though, it's going to really increase. And I see that as like a recovery, which could happen fairly soon, actually. So, Spirit, when is the recovery? I get 3 to 4 months, it begins. it really begins. And you know what's very important about the recovery is economically, this will benefit everyone, including Trump supporters. So they will kind of see that, this isn't, a socialist, communist agenda, and, all those crazy conspiracy theories about Democrats. That it's not really true. That actually they too are also benefiting economically. I do see Republicans taking a step back and reflecting on some of the crazier things that they have done. It's not going to happen overnight, but they're starting to back up. Most important, I see a new evolution in American consciousness. I see all kinds of people sitting together in a beautiful field, and they're working together and they're meditating together, sitting in a circle. People are listening to each other, and people are kind and helpful. People feel free to express themselves. So as soon as you can find such a group of people, as soon as it's safe, once this COVID is over, do what you can. Join some kind of group like this. Obviously, only join them if they treat you really well. Don't just join something. Join something and watch. Do I feel like I'm in here being abused by a Trump supporter? No, I feel great. I feel like I trust these people, blah, blah, blah. Right? Definitely keep your ears open. That's one thing we've learned from Trump is be aware. But once you do get into these circles, you'll just be really supported. And they could take many, many forms. And this really is spirituality. When we all sit in a circle and have conversation and we feel safe to tell people who we are. And that's what really needs to happen is we got to reconnect our communities. And that's something you and I can do. We can do that, right? It doesn't depend on a foreign person. We could join a group. So Spirit tells me that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. And again, congratulations for surviving these 4 years and coming out the other side a bigger, better, stronger person. Thanks for watching.